Is there a chance for romance after the romantic? Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I am Adrian Fort, and we're here for another poetry discussion, which will appear, of course, in two separate playlists here on the channel. Number one being the poetry discussion playlist, now cruising towards 650 videos strong, but the second one is the love series here on the channel, 14 love poems in 14 days in celebration of Valentine's Day, this being the penultimate day of this series. So, for today, we have a poem from Gwendolyn Brooks. I have read very little Gwendolyn Brooks, but the Gwendolyn Brooks that I have read, I do enjoy. The poem in question is The Bean Eaters. What a romantic title. And it reads as such. They eat beans mostly, this old yellow pair. Dinner is a casual affair, plain chipware on plain and creaking wood, tin flatware. Two who are mostly good, two who have lived their day, but keep on putting on their clothes and putting things away. And remembering with twinklings and twinges, as they lean over the beans in their rented back room that is full of beads and receipts and dolls and clothes, tobacco crumbs, vases, and fringes. This is a poem that does not read very much like a love poem, and perhaps not at all like a love poem until this couplet. And remembering with twinklings and twinges. This lets us know that these two individuals are, in fact, in love with each other. This is not a poem that is simply about two people living together. This is not a poem where these people had been in love. This is a poem where these individuals do love each other. These individuals are there for one another, not with one another, not near one another, but perhaps the romantic is gone. What do I mean by can the romance outlast the romantic? Well, very simple. I have stolen this from YouTube, or from Google, pardon me. One and the same. Romantic. Definition 1, conducive or characterized by the expression of love, a romantic candlelit dinner. Similar, amorous, intimate, passionate, lovey-dovey. Opposite, unromantic. I think that's cheating to say unromantic is the opposite of romantic. Of course it is, but that gives you no idea what the word means if you do not know it going into the definition. Just like you can't use a word in its own definition anyway, this definition of romantic, that it is characterized by the expression of love, is true. However, it is often caught up hand in hand colloquially with the second definition of romantic, of characterized by or suggestive of an idealized view of reality. Which is to say that oftentimes, the way that the number 2 definition is used, a romantic attitude toward the past. This is not the same thing as when you're talking about a person or a relationship with a person. However, these things are often caught up with one another. This is to suggest that what happens with this is that being romantic about a person puts those rosy colored glasses on you towards the beloved. So, the grandiose gesture from your lover comes as a surprise. The grandiose gesture from your lover comes as a surprise, but it is not all that overwhelming. Your lover wants to take you to dinner, and the two of you end up at McDonald's. Well, with romantic flair, who's to say that can't be the most fun date the two of you ever could have had? That is what is often rolled up in the term romantic. Romance is similar but simpler. Romance is the feel. This is again stolen directly from Google. This is their AI, whatever that is to mean. Romance is the feeling of love and affection between two people as well as the relationship itself. It can also refer to a story about love, often with exciting or magical elements. This is romantic, not romance. The romance in this poem is that these two individuals, whoever they are, this older couple, they have this life set out for them. They have this simple existence. They eat beans mostly. They are eating these beans off of plain chipware on plain and creaking wood tin flatware. That is where these two reside. That is where these two spend their time. Now, is that romantic? No, that is not romantic. It is not a hyper idealized version of a relationship. It is not romantic. Is there romance there? So long as these two love each other and have decided, hey, I don't want to put on any fancy clothes and go out, baby. Let's just sit around and we'll eat our beans and maple syrup. Let's just stay in, kick our feet up, and enjoy each other's company. We don't have to preen about. We don't have to go out and impress anyone. The only person whose attention I need is sitting here eating beans with me. The two are mostly good. Notice, mostly good is capitalized. What does this suggest? You could read into this in all sorts of ways. You could read into this in all sorts of directions. I am under the impression that what this means is these two are so close that between the two of them, mostly good is a proper description. One of them has a crush on Fabio. The other one likes the lady down the street. He watches the lady down the street as she mows her grass. She reads her romance novels. They're mostly good. Right? That is what mostly good in capital means to me. Mostly good in capital letters means to me. It does not mean anything necessarily nefarious. It does not mean anything that is bad. These two simple folk eating beans together every night. I think that the mostly good there is sort of an inside joke. And we see in the final stanza here, as they lean over the beans in their rented back room that is full of beads and receipts and dolls and cloths, tobacco crumbs, vases, and fringes. This place, whoever these two are, These two who have decided in romance, but not romantically, that they are for one another. This is their life. We have their entire existence surrounding them. That is their world, and it seems to be good enough for them. That seems like romance to me, even if it is not the most romantic. That is all I have for this poetry discussion. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting a like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, literature is the only thing that I do on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. There is, of course, poetry to be had on Mondays, if you were here for poetry. And as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.